actually goes down on a waterfall there. Somebody makes its way there. But this shot was disgusting. He didn't even actually get that elimination. He did a 112 to him to the face. But actually, Jorge, who was up on high ground towards the end, managed to him. But Osmo taking on both Carnifex and Harmy by himself. Back on Imagine, though, is Osmo finally, because he doesn't have his shotgun reloaded, ends up going down. Imagine with the good attempt after we saw Provoked end up going down from fall damage, takes out Risk while in the storm, and then makes it to kind of try to catch him by surprise, but it's not going to be enough. But it was so close, Zeke. This shot right here, and then look at this. He was so close. He already had his crosshair on his face, but no. Jorge is going to take the win just barely by milliseconds here, Zeke. This was so close.
Man, coming down there to the wire, man, this is just Fortnite is, right? Like, everyone's going to give it their all. Everyone wants to qualify, and that's the kind of stuff we're seeing. Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see how things are shaking out currently. I can't even read.
Den Magisk, I don't know.
Den Magisk?
Magisk. I'm going to call him Magisk.
Magisk, great. And TTV, I'm the Beast. We know you. You've been hanging out here for a while. At the top still, though, 7 games remaining. Yeah. This is pretty substantial. 3 victory odds right now, 100% win rate. Yeah. Wait, what?
That is ridiculous. I mean, 62 points. This might be flipped here. Games remaining versus matches played. Possibly Miss Benji, Fishy, and Mr. Savage. We've seen them week after week. And people that Fishy tag at the end of their name to get the good luck. But I mean, Wolfies and Rojo were up here earlier. They've got 57 points now. They dropped down from 1st to 4th. Skite and Vato, who are just barely, I think they got 9th place twice in a row in the duos week. So that's one of the French-speaking duos that have not yet made it. We saw the Solary guys go through before, and then some of these other guys as well. Andalex and Orc, we saw their win. And Dreda, who had the crazy performance in week 9. You guys watched it. Just unbelievable. So it's shaping up. I mean, I'm already seeing Skite and Vato. I'm starting to get excited because they start to play better as time goes on. And we just have all but
it's so incredibly dense. 52 players in this lobby, 28 duos remaining, and again, the 4 final spots. We're coming down to it right now. That line, because the Mr. Savage and Benji Fishy duo have already qualified, would be 54 points. 51 was on the bottom. 3 points separating everyone. That's how tall you have to be to ride the ride. And Storm Surge is on again, Shy.
The pressure is active in EU, and we are in pressure plant as well. The lava's hot. These skins look hotter. The guns look very nice as well with that new camo that's out in the shop as well. A lot of edits going up and around. Once again, Geyser's up in play. A lot of free rotation, free shots being taken too, but a miss coming in from Speezy, very, very close to the opponent's head. Baller's getting shot down on Storm line. Once again, a very good position. A lot of people playing for pre-positioned advantage points. And then milking those elims rather than getting them on the fly. The guys are being baited now. Can the beams come through? White HP on that opponent. His fly gets cut short. Jarkos going down now. Where's his dual partner? Is going to be coming Alisher. No one allowed to be with these side of the map.
Actually, Edground Alec was the player from the Winter Royale who had it competitive before. It was just always in the arena duos and said, hey, I'm pretty good at Fortnite, and through the open structure has now been in all of these end games. But Speezy now going to opt to tarp away. We'll see the conversion happen onto Alec, and now has to make a tough decision in terms of loot. Is going to drop the heavy snipe in favor of taking the Rift. Will he opt to fix anything else up? And you can see now he's trying to go back through and just make sure he gets every possible little bit he can.
In these solo spots, when you have to face up against other duos, those spam weapons are always vital. That choice of keeping the drum gun and the AR even on ammo, Speezy knows at some point is going to be a desperate motion on the low ground or mid ground into making sure that spam is up on opponents' builds. So very smart decision there as we tune into the Fnatic boys. And V-Rock's going to be looking at their own loot at the bottom here. Have a Rift to go as well. Shadows available to get cut up after grabbing the rift, but Moder misses out on those. Not sure if that'll affect him later on. Once again, there are a lot of geysers and a lot of ways to trickle down from height to stay on top rotation, but that might be a big hit to their loadout overall play this game.
Yeah, I really hope Varrox grabbed those because honestly, Shadows are the most consistent in terms of the utility tool, being able to rotate. You have either top down or down up. You're able to rotate and get high ground if necessary and just make really clutch plays in a pinch. As you see, a lot of other people rotating in the good old-fashioned way. It's Fortnite, the battle is building, and everyone is tarping up the side of pressure plate and trying to do damage because that Storm Surge is still active. You can see Moder and Varrox about 9 points off that pace right now to be in the top 10, 12 points off qualification pace. What can they do to get themselves closer? There they are. There's the Shadows we saw earlier. Will he be able to grab them? Is that another misgrab coming out from Moder? And we talked about the clutch and the pressure being on. Now actually misses himself with one of the chug splashes too, but doesn't matter. Call him an action hero as he slides down the side of the volcano and finds the Elim.
Very smart loop balance from those duos as well. Varrox goes down, but he did have a slurp ticking while he let Moder play with those chug splashes. You know, it's easy to have a very efficient chug splash in duos, but on rotation, it's very hard to hit you and your partner. So very smart decisions there. Moder has to be smarter now in a 1v2 situation, using all his mats. Around 800 left now as people go down left and right. 26 people left alive, 18 duos, no placement yet. Once again, 7th zone. A lot of pressure coming down on Moder. His shield getting knocked down. Still has those chug splashes to use on the move, making sure that zone damage is not a problem. Shields, not a problem, as he gets all the way back up to 100 HP. Once again, his early game was amazing. Get those guns out, but his life goes down as well to Bodike.
And he misses the top 15, so no placement points there. Vato and Sky are going to be happy about that, as Vato is still in the lobby. You have Ibu High now with the combat and the flint, so rolling around in the ball. Proxima Star, who was in the top 3, also picking it up there. And Proxima Star being the player who's been around forever, since like the original Summer Skirmish. So good to see his name back up there as 5-0 picks up Wraith's Guard, and we're closing in on the top 10. Buhai trying to find a decent amount of space there in the middle, but somebody is way up on Ultimate High as we're rotating around. Zeke gets blasted by Flavo in the back. Will the Elim come through? No, he's able to find the zone, but not able to pop it off, as now all of a sudden Old Man Mountain. 1-2 players up top. This is when you wish you had Shadow Bombs. Matsu and Ibu High on the mid ground. Ibu High gets that, but Proxima Star and his teammate just get to rain down shots on the rest of the lobby. Ibu High trying to find some space to exist, but he's going to have to go back over now into the plant. There's only Ibu High in a 1v2, and that's not going to be enough. Fury Legend and Proxima Star going to close that one out. 6 Elims and the victory round. That's how they were at 57 points. That's what got them up there, and hopefully they can keep on that pace to qualify.
They ended that game so fast, still had 9 impulses and 2 smoke grenades left at the end, but they decided to just give the lobby a whole haircut as we move in. Once again, the same zone. Geysers going up once again. A lot of launch pads can be saved on this 5th zone rotation. A lot of mats can just be saved as well when you're up in the air, not taking too many shots and basing up, going for these big vantage points as well. Benji Fishy now, the inspiration for a lot of duos in the EU region, getting their name switched for that good, sweet luck in terms of qualifying. He's getting checked on his edit, getting a little bit too close there, giving his fish hat a little bit of a haircut. A lot of heals being used on that as well. Could be a mistake that proves fatal at the end of the game.
And one thing I do like, though, is with how many more shields there have been in the games, is players are taking more risks. They're poking out more. They're looking for more trades. They're willing to go take fights, because it's like, hey, if we don't get everything here, it's not the end of the game. As Rickolas finds a great double snipe onto him, that's what we talk about, always making sure you cover 2 layers. So what are they going to do? They're going to disengage down and over 1 layer and make sure they're boxed up. They are already very close to the safe zone, not quite in it, so we'll need to rotate just slightly over, but have the guys there to do it. I mean, this lobby's stacked. You see Crew, Nairo, Milan, Osmo, Chapik, Snowda, like, jeez.
We get in these last 4 games, and the games only get bigger with better players over and over. Aqua in here with Nyrox as well. We're going to be tuning into their super dope position up top on this hill. Going to be cutting off a lot of people rotating from mid-ground. They're going to just have to rotate early, though. They're not in zone just yet, dropping just a few layers, but every layer you do drop, that's a box saved on mats. So moving diagonally this way is very smart, but also risky because you have a little bit less of protection from front. You just saw there Nyrox trying to get double sniped off of his position, but is dynamic in his box, saves that up. Utility now getting split for each duo, making sure each person has a nice exit plan in case that fire alarm sounds in their game and stuff hits the fan. Nyrox going to be looking out, up and around for any vantage points. 5th circle to 6th is that kind of stalemate time where you can look for picks. He gets a nice 33 damage shot on a duo moving down bottom. Aqua looking through his pyramid, looking for any information up on the map as well.
Yeah, and they're just trying to chill. They're just trying to hang out right now, doing everything they can to keep whatever amount of space and to get over on the far side of the zone right away. And that's one thing we've talked about a number of times. When these moving zones come in and you have utility, you want to pop it, get far side, box up, and then turn and see the rest of the lobby. Here's a prime example of it. That's white damage. Going to follow it up right away with the stink nade. You don't get away from that. He's going to continue pouring down the pressure, and that is SpitFire.x of the 11 going down on the side. Brilliantly done, but can they convert onto it? The Storm will move past it, so they want to go over and try and get whatever mats as well as that siphon on it.
Once again, EU is so good at just using their utility and following up with the shots. Nyrox now going down, unfortunately, could not cover his head up top. Very still smart plays there, playing off of his thing, saving that last one until he had damage rather than just using it for an impact in the game. Always make sure you're milking the most out of the stuff you have in your inventory. Benji now still alive with Savage, looking for a reload while the wall goes down. Very unfortunate there. That small mag size of the infantry rifle proving to be fatal in terms of getting that elimination point. Benji and Savage now in the same box, getting caught up in a big community rift. Chapek's going down, getting knocked all the way. Not sure in the rift or beforehand. That Elam coming through though, that shield will go back up once that server starts moving and the Storm goes over that down enemy.
So he actually got knocked because that was the shot that he hit right before on him. That was the 87 tick. The Storm ended up then ticking him over and then getting it. That was that extension where it's a minute after you've damaged someone. But we have our top 15, so 3 placement points going out to everyone. The Fishies getting those as well, so on 5 points so far from this match. And also still 2 Shadow Bombs with a lot of mats, so they're going to be able to play for late as Andretta gets picked up. So did get the top 3 points going there from top 15, but not anything more there. Majin and Provoked on the mid tarp. You see I'm the Beast and Magisk posts on the high ground above him. Takeoffs just below. Zappy and Red Rush, another duo who have already qualified, just below. Anonymous 27, not to be confused with Anonymous 72, just below Dementos here as he's tarping towards the side, trying to make it into the top 10.
A lot of mid-ground tarps coming out now. The zone will start moving in more awkward ways. A little bit of time for Dementos at the moment to see if he can put pressure down up top or down below. Putting vertical pressure upwards as a mid-ground tarper is very, very hard. His duo is down, but does have 6 eliminations. Pay over there. These guys have 8 in total. Looks like it's going to be 9 now, unless, no, it was just a finish on Dementos. He's going to be going over on his tarp once again.
But it got him into the top 10, so it's fine that it wasn't his conversion because he still gets 2 points going there from knocking that team out right as the teammate went over. Now Dementos trying to find some room. So far they have gotten 13 points from this match, but they need to pick up the pace there. We saw the top duo was on 60 plus, being up 44. Needs every possible points as 27 picks up Trox. Dementos still trying to tarp over, edits himself back in, finds an angle, but immediately gets cut off. Provoked finds the conversion onto 27, and Dementos is just gonna chill, popping that utility. And again, we've talked about it, just so many more risks and time you get there. As now he's gonna drop down, start to contest. 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shots. Can he find it? 4. Finally gets it after using 6 of the 10 combat shots there, but stops Provoked and gets him into the top 5. That could have end up being huge, but Pulse and I'm the Beast working top down right now. Look at the chaos on the low ground. Tohaj being picked up by Benji Fishy, and Evade ADDZ adds, closing him out there. Another player who has played in the skirmishes before. Beast trying to find whatever space he can. Dementos blowing up. Adds there as now it's a 1v2. Dementos in the bottom right. I'm the Beast in the top right. Magi's post. And there for the high ground. Dementos goes straight up. Max Glide Height comes in, can't build it away. Magis pops him off. Dementos tried to get back in the zone, but Magic pulls brilliantly done. So well executed. And that is why they're on the top, sitting up there currently with the 62 points.
What a close match going right down to the wire. 1 more shot is all he needed there, but it was not possible, did not connect. The duo does hold it down. Once again, this pattern, very, very smart solo play there, making sure he can pick up all the eliminations before the game ends, even though it's a 1v2 spot right here. Now we got Nauka and MXR who are both chilling in their big base. Looks like next to Stormline as well, one of the best positions you can be in. Very, very nice loadout there for them as well. They've got their long-range beam, the follow-up with the drum as well, and that crucial combat shotgun, which did get nerfed a little bit on this patch, but it's still the fire rate and that swap delay coming off allows you to make so many cool plays. They both are sitting on 0 eliminations at the moment, so they must make this effort to catch up near the end of the game.
Yeah, and just one thing in terms of the combat shotgun change, I feel like it's kind of mitigated just because of the removal of the shotgun timer. It ends up allowing you to kind of do, a lot of people call it the TP classic, where you're ramping out and you're able to effectively tarp and shoot at the same time with very minimal amount of exposure. And I think it sort of makes up for the slight change in the use of the tiles and how much damage. Combat still being very, very, very strong in the current meta, but you can see MXR being able to push in, trying to find the conversion. Is some pressure from above and just goes for it. Gianni Jr. showing why he's not Gianni Sr. being taken down there outside the top 20. No placement points for you and a lot of time wasted in that lobby.
Just a dope reaction there to look up and then look straight up or straight ahead of himself. MXR just carrying that fight right there. Yuntos and Ryu now getting focused by the whole server. Very unfortunate when this happens. Stinks coming down as well, so that's going to be a very, very hard situation to get out of. Ryu now going down. Heiko getting his 3rd elimination, putting him and Ono Kill together on the same, or on 4 eliminations there, making sure their points get counted up. 35 points total at the moment. That placement point's gonna be coming in 4 more duos coming down. 35 people left alive, so that zone surge will also be an option as well.
Yeah, and that was a high value stink. And that's one thing you talk about, you know, it feels really unfortunate when you're getting focused by the whole server, but the reason you're getting focused by the whole server is because you're in an obvious 1x1 that was just rebuilt without priority on the next zone. If everyone is gonna focus you, it's much easier to just pile in. You can hear the rift go off left eye, trying to hit it, trying to do everything he can, will end up finding it there. Storm Surge is active as we have 18 duos left and 34 players, so pretty much everyone has a buddy with them.
And then, yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a stacked team-based endgame at the moment. A lot of 4-gun loadouts also coming in together right now. Dan Zizzle going down on Shadow Nades. A lot of multiple high ground tarps. A lot of them go down. Cazorla is going to be up top. 1 Shadow Nade left on Heiko at the moment. Andre going down from Cazorla's high ground pick. He gets finished off. Heiko gets that big reward off of it. The mats, the utility, campfires as well for the end game. Pickaxe is coming full swing, making sure every wall is theirs before they set on the next move. Not quite in zone yet, but that tunnel will be very, very proficient. We're talking about those combat changes as well before. That also changes the range of engagement, as now we have more ARs. The style of the game and how it actually flows as more people are basing up to shoot rather than shooting on the fly if they're not going to be able to box fight, changes the way people move around the map as well.
And it kind of has given a little bit of a resurgence, what we've seen so far, to the drum gun. It allows the drum gun to have a little bit more of that mid-range feel to it, to where it is going to out-prioritize the combat shotgun, whereas before the drum gun very much so got forced out in terms of effectiveness as we hit our top 15, so 3 points going over from everyone, because why run a drum gun when you can have an FSA rifle and then the combat? But now there really is kind of a space that's between, like, it's closer to like 4 to 9 tiles where the drum gun just shreds. And even now you can see, boom, tack AR, turn about face, 2 elims right there for Johnny Boy and Cazorla. Brilliantly done. Once those will end up tick over, they do have the top 15 as well, as Hizzle gets forced out of the lobby. Proximus are also counted. Everyone gets pulled up into the sky. We're closing in. Boom, top 10 next placement threshold.
6 Chug Splashes still left. We haven't seen them use to their full potential just yet in these end-game Storm heal-off scenarios. Proxima Star not going down, the high ground star of the last few games that we saw. A lot of wood builds means that these spend weapons are going to knock a wallop as Johnny Boy gets another knockoff on Ibuhai, the baller player we saw from the other game as well. These raps getting sneaky, moving around in brick, metal, and wood. A lot of these big mats now finally coming out, making him get stopped down. Vertically being put down as layer switches come down from their opponents as well. Johnny Boy getting that pickup, maybe not the elimination there, as Ono Kill also on top.
Yeah, and it was a really good try from Janus there to disengage, dropping back down, but unfortunately once Bohan was able to find 3 elims, make it a 4th, just fragging their way almost into the top 5, but now Cazorla doing everything he can on the still up as well. Great 130 shot in the middle of the top 5, so that's 2 points is leaving down there. 1 Chug Splash is tossed as we're closing in. 9 players left, 6 duos remaining, Shai.
Yayas has all the pressure on him now to get that last placement spot. He is low on HP, but it is kind of free for that. As once again, it goes through 4 duos left now. MXR is still alive. His dual partner as well is going to be a big fight on the low ground, and one person confirming things from the high ground. Low ground, though, we do have almost 11 chug splashes available as these boxes get bursted into. Ono kill going down to MXR. Another quick flick. Yayas going down. He tried to come off from high ground. Maybe he ran out of mats, but nothing worked out for him there. A 4-gun loadout. That heavy sniper still being available. Priority reload on it as well. 3 duos left. Looks like Nauka is down at the moment. MXR moving up on the highest priority ground right now. There might be someone higher than him actually at the moment. Heiko and Johnny Boy on the bottom as well with Kazorla. We'll see what they can do. MXR is going to be controlling this fight at the moment. Heiko, these chug splashes coming down from Johnny Boy and Kazorla. They have so many to use amongst themselves. They're finally going to run out. They're going to be a little bit late on the storm. Heiko going down. Johnny Boy and Kazorla are going to be fighting it out against each other as well. MXR is going to be pressured from the top. Johnny Boy goes down. Kazorla now has to avenge his dual partner and see what can be done here. Both people taking storm takes. MXR coming down, but the heavy sniper is not enough as Kazorla wins that game out all the way, tarping in from that low ground position, making sure he pops off at the right moment, making the best decisions possible, clutching out that game for his dual partner.
It was all about the chug splashes. You called it early, but he hung out on the low ground, and even though he got the siphon, EMXR was not able to close out the match just because he held zone, had the chug splashes, and had everything he needed. And that's something, again, a new mechanic. You can throw it, you can use it on your teammate, but because it's instantaneous HP, it changes what has now kind of been something that's been really solid in the meta for a long time. When you get to endgame, you know, hey, like if a person has a campfire plus bandages, I can do this. Or if I take one tick, I can get a med kit out. Or hey, if I get a siphon under 50 HP, like I'm guaranteed to close this match out. But it's just not enough. And now we're going to throw it back into the studio to Zeke.
Thank you guys so much, man. European action just never disappoints. Again, Sanan describing the chug splash recent edition. I think there's still more to this we haven't seen. I think players are still kind of developing strategies with it, and I want to see how they continue to improve upon using that splash. Now, of course, guys, before we go to break, let's take a look at the standings together. Let's get a sense of where things are, because we're moving into this final block of games. Right now, as it stands, the Lestream duo of Skite and Vato are sitting in that #1 spot. Now, you have talked about this, all right? You said these guys have been edged out several times, and the most recent time was to the Solary entire squad.
Yep.
You got to think they want revenge, right? They want in.
Yeah, in week 6 it was Hunter, Kinstar, and Airwalks and Nikov, and then in week 8 it was, of course, Hunter and Kinstar again.
Yep.
But I mean, 2 duos weeks in a row, they got 9th place. Finally, Skite had some success in week 9 in the solos, so it seems that that success is carrying through here. They have 3 games remaining, 65 points, and this is just awesome there. Of course, we look down the list as well. Y and TJ, they've been through, the entire 10 weeks we've been following slightly. They're almost pushing up there, and of course, Y had some pop-off performances beforehand the World Cup even started, and then we watch Magisk and I'm the Beast. Their performance there, we haven't seen too much of a movement here yet in that score, right? 62 points is where we left them off in that game, and they're still obviously probably playing. We'll see if that updates, if they move back into that first place. And then moving down the list, basically, so we have Wolfies and Rojo, they keep moving down and slowly going down. So there is 4 spots up for grabs. And something that's different though, no Stompy and Shinken, no Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, they're down here right now, but they're not taking up these spots. So it is the top 4 that are going to be going through, and since queues are about to close, we're about to start getting into those final matches. This is looking like these guys right now are punching their ticket.
Well, what's scary too is striking distance from 10 to first is only 7 points. It's only 7 points. A straight up victory royale is going to get you that 10-point threshold. If 1 elimination along the way, from 10th, you're jumping into contest #1. So we'll have to see how things unfold. But for now, Fortnite fam, we are going to go to a short break. Get up, stretch legs. Come right back, though, because we have more Fortnite action after this.
Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby. Let's fly down to the lobby to get your spots and nums. Burgers from dirt to munch. Tacos Royale with brunch. and juicy is a tasty treat for Lil Whip, Peely, and Pete for Pete. Let's glide out to the lobby to get your squad some numbs. Let's glide out to the lobby to get your squad some numbs.
All right, Fortnite fam, we're here for week 9 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. And just like this Cuddle team leader, we are very excited to be here. The final week of solo competition. Hopefully these players can take a bite out of the competition and really keep it top notch. Codename Elf. Guys, are you ready for week 9, the finals day?
Ready for week 9, baby.
Man,
I just had a whole bag of cookies.
A whole bag of cookies.
He's the yes man.
I'm so happy I don't have to be near Zeke for much longer.
We got some qualification. We got a dancing banana too. I want to see Zeke wear that at some point during the World Cup.
Fortnite fam, you guys know I love it when you use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. We actually have a social producer that helps sift through all the tweets and all the incredible things you guys send us, and his name is Nick Brown.
All right, guys, my name is Nick Brown, and for the Fortnite World Cup qualifiers, I've been working as a social producer. So basically, every time any of the casters say use the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, I'm the one who plays defense to make sure that none of those cheeky tweets with bad words end up on the big screen.
All right, Courage, let's go to the kitchen. Let's get ourselves some food.
What we got? Some garlic bread. Is that chicken parmesan? Oh my God, it's chicken parm! Yes! You okay? Do I need to put this one back? Bro, they put garlic bread in front of me. You think I'm not gonna get 3 pieces? Come on.
What's up, Fortnite fam? It's Squints here, and recently we've been trying to level up the observing, so we challenged our observers to get cool dynamic shots and keeping them smooth and technically awesome. And let's share some of our favorite shots with you guys.
I can't imagine the weight that these competitors must feel on their shoulders.
Whoa, okay.
Wow.
Seems like the observers are having a little bit of a competition back there.
All right, observers, let's get it.
And then tried to challenge those fights, and that just freaked me out.
What? Speaking about something freaky.
There is Nick just above Chap's foot. Because apparently that's someone's name in Fortnite. You don't know about that, Jack? No. I mean, you really need to step up your competitive Fortnite knowledge. It's okay though. It's Chap's foot. Like physically, it's he plays. I hate you.
What's up? It's Monster D-Face. What's up? Yo, Monster. You know you're my favorite?
Yeah, absolutely.
If I told you were my favorite, would you believe me?
Probably not. We all know Sundown's his favorite, guys. That's why, dude. Right there.
What?
Dude, it messes me up.
You know, a lot of people ask me what the best part about replay is. It's got to be working next to GFX Becca.
People ask me all the time what the best part about being a graphics operator is.
Someone here specifically that keeps the ball rolling no matter what happens, and his name is Jordan.
What's up, Fortnite fam? My name's Jordan, and I am the production manager on the Fortnite World Cup Online Open. My job includes making sure the production happens smoothly, handling staffing, catering, any technical issues that may arise, making sure everyone else is doing their job.
He's really good at stuff.
We're on a break, and Jeff is going for the high score.
Not for you. Random down. I don't know if you realize it's completely uncontested. But
it's over. Week 9 is done. Goodbye.
Welcome back, Fortnite fam, to week 10 of the Fortnite World Cup Online Open qualifiers. My name is Pookie Face. We've gotten into a little bit of the European action. We're playing duos today. I know I'm excited to see how everyone fares. We only have a few more spots left in New York at the end of July. So without further ado, I want to get into more games, but in order to do that, I need some casters. I got Zeke, I got Bala. Boys, take it away.
Thanks so much, Pookie. We are here. Can't stress this enough. This is the final week. This is it, week 10, final opportunity, the final chance for players to earn a spot in the World Cup Finals in New York City. It cannot be more stressful than this.
No, it can't. There's only 4 spots up for grabs. Clutch into New York City. But let's get into action because we have to figure out who is going to be left standing when the dust is all settled. So let's get into games.
Here we go. The first game of the block. So don't forget, those queue times, very, very close to being all wrapped up. Then we're going to have a little bit of extra time to just make sure everyone gets all their games through and completed. Don't forget it's 3-hour window or 10 matches, whichever comes first. Hopping on here with Kiklos, ZQ and his partner Swats. 4 elimination between them. 41 players remain in the current lobby with 22 duos still left. Look at this circle right now.
Yeah, it's going over that entire ravine there, the bridge in the middle. So kind of a little bit of a treacherous path, but I can already see just based on the stances of some of these players are taking, they're ready to hop over with the launch pads or shadow bombs or whatever they might be using, and to get in that half in, half out, which is positioned right on that big hill with the, you know, the tree of life, as I call it.
Yeah, that's one that I've taken. I just used to call it big tree, then I was like, no, tree of life makes sense. But if you're watching the bottom right, you see all the triangles. They're already converging on the new safe. So Nyrock's gonna get ripped out of the air immediately. That is another elimination, and Swats confirms it there. 5 between the duo now, and this is huge. Now keep in mind they're pretty separated, but I mean, Kiklos is in the baller, so he can kind of navigate as he needs to.
Yeah, but separation is, you know, what actually caused that elimination to go down onto Nyrock's Aqua.
Oh, the baller.
Oh, no.
Well,
that is so sad to see. Just like he took out Aqua, he actually blew up his launch pad right before he managed to get on it. So Aqua going a little bit too fast, but here he's going a little bit too fast for his baller. And again, split from his teammate, just like he said, Zeke. Is he going to be able to find anything from here on this low ground position? A little bit tough.
You know, trying to divide and conquer, I mean, it can work for you, right? Like, if you've got the confidence, you've got the skill, you can absolutely make it work. But look how far away diagonally he is right now. I mean, you got to think this is the top 1%, right? Don't forget the top 3,000 or 1,500 duos from the region move on to finals. Maybe you'll catch some people off guard, but for the large part, you're not going to catch many, like, incredible players off guard with that kind of tactic, right? Like, they're going to be looking. They're waiting. Like, someone's going to do something cheeky here. I just feel it. 44-88. Oh, my God. Okay, listen, ref's guard. Well, all right, I was going to say pull off another shot. He just beat me to the punch. Like, Zeke, I got you. Don't worry.
Infantry rifle being used right through the window. So strong at putting out those high damage numbers right away, taking down that duo. And actually going to manage to snag the loot as well. Meanwhile, on the rest of the server, I did see Boyer and Crippa. I saw Dementos in the lobby. So Boyer and Crippa, one of those teams that a lot of people were looking forward to, you know, qualify for New York, but not have yet having those performances in this lobby. We'll see what they're able to do. Obviously, Hack's guard and Ref's guard are Hack's core, sorry, are way on their way towards that top of the leaderboard, but the RPG coming in.
So I believe, if I remember correctly, I think Crippa was actually picked up, and I think Boyer's by himself. Once we can take a look at the high and wide shots here and establish things, we'll get a better sense. But right now, rotations need to begin happening. Bombs are being popped, and look at this. Gonna try and reposition here with Ref's guard. That's good. Team is back together, and the chug splashes. Thank you, teammate. And it comes out. Catching the player drops down to 76 over on. There you go. Sigma has been eliminated, going back to the lobby.
And that is exactly how you want to place the traps when you drop somebody into the box. Make sure you place it on that front wall or the roof, and then you can rotate the stairs accordingly, but they have no chance of escaping from the left or the right when you sit in that fashion. Great reaction there from Hack's core and Ref's guard, and we're going to stay on them.
First round of placement points coming out. Right now, they have 3 eliminations, which in and of itself is huge. There you see Boyer goes down, has been eliminated, even Alliance Powder as well. And this lobby is just going to continue to thin out. Edric Hill going to be picked off as well by Paffy, and this just continues. Benji Fishy is also in the lobby as well. He's going to pick up Mav Joe. And right now, I mean, if you're Rafsguard and you're Haxcore, you're probably thinking like, I'm watching the elimination feed. I know these Titans are in here. What are we looking to do, right? You've already got the first round of placement points. You're about to hit the next round. Do you think they just go full send, try to find the eliminations, maybe play it a little bit slower? Oh my God! Please. Oh God.
I was gonna say that's what they're doing right now, but that's definitely gonna put them on the back foot. The flint knock is actually gonna knock him back into the zone. He used all the chug splashes, so that's not gonna be useful to get back in, but Haxcore still up. They did take out Benji, which was the player that RPG'd them, kind of caused them a little bit of chaos and panic, but still alive, still rocking down on this low ground. This is where they've been staying the entire time and so impactful down here, Zeke.
Look at the lobby now. 6 players remain, all of which are solo riders. No one's got a buddy. Themo here, he's gonna find one over on Josa there and find an immediate elimination. Top 5. Another round of placements for everyone in the lobby.
Yeah, but only on wood. These players that are finding down below are not covering their top. He's going to find one. Can he find another? Not yet. He does have that flint knock if he does need to get back up. But again, no materials, it looks like, or they're playing very sparse with them. Now using that flint knock to get down onto the height that he needs to so he doesn't take any fall damage. No risk, but another player trying to get up over the hill. And unfortunately, Haxcore is left below, but the storm is playing with his favor right now. He's going to be able to get up.
Look at this. Themo's got high ground advantage right now. Haxcore low on HP. And Vic here, he's got, oh, just kidding. I was going to say HP advantage, but it doesn't matter. Haxcore evens the odds. And now Themo has that high ground control. Haxcore's got to do something, but a huge shot comes back over. And this is Themo's game to win 4 eliminations between the duo. Victory Royale, a 13-point game.
Yeah, and they tied, actually, in terms of points with Haxcore and Refguard. So a valiant effort there from low ground. We saw them completely, you know, stuck down there, no opportunities to get out, but making do with what they get. So they push themselves up to over 60 points now, and that is definitely something that you want to be at moving into these last games. The queues are definitely about to close.
There we go. We got another game, of course, more Fortnite action to be had near Happy Hamlet right now. Storm Circle 5. Don't forget, if you're new to Fortnite, the way we've been running the qualifiers, we hop into the Storm Circle 4, 5, sometimes even 6, getting right in the action, skipping past the looting, the drops, all of it, jumping right into all of the action to be had. I think we should probably refresh people on the format just in case they're tuning in for the first time. So guys, don't forget, every single elimination is a point. Top 15, 10, 5 in the victory hour, all the placement thresholds. Look at this. Cubs is just finding elims.
Perfect. That's exactly what you need to do. When you're on the edge of the zones, you have options to get in. He has those shadow bombs if he wants to use them, but you obviously don't want to use all your mobility early. You only have 2 of those, so he forces out the launch pad from the team nearby. If that did not work, he still has the option to go ahead and use those shadow bombs, so doesn't have to worry about that rotation. And honestly, getting a bit of luck based on the players who are coming in, but sometimes you just force it out.
That's right, man. This lobby is still so packed right now. Got so many players. Just a few one-by-ones over. Gafal, though, is going to be dropped immediately, and now we head over to Requiem George and his teammate, 2Gen Ever. They're trying to isolate this player. So this is the one we saw go down, and now they're just hunting, trying to make sure they can find this elimination as quickly as possible. I like the way they're navigating this, right? They're breaking 2 separate builds instead of just trying to bash through a single wall. Just making it more difficult. If you're on the inside, you're like, how, you know, they're coming in from 2 different angles. How do we defend against this? They did get the revive off, Paula, but they still have a lot of pressure.
On the same token, when you do go from 2 different angles, you also have to be careful because that's 2 more angles that they can use.
Right.
And that situation being box to box, face to face, 1 wall in between each other, and the stairs there kind of rotated the awkward way. Very difficult to kind of escape from that if they do manage to get that wall, if they do manage to get an angle on you. So deciding to back off, probably the healthy decision, especially as Zone 6 starts to move.
We saw George here drop a few, potentially 1 shadow bomb for his duo partner Ever. And here we go, they're immediately popped. The rotations are gonna come out, but again, this is a very dense lobby. 33 players currently remain, 19 of them being duo partners. They need to find more. You know, you got to think, obviously you want to try and make placement. That's huge, but every extra elimination is going to make the difference on impacting that leaderboard. And I'm sure this is things they're thinking about, right? I'm just thinking aloud right now. Oh, perfect. Castery gets traded out there, trying to make a late rotation. Not today, friend, not today.
Well, we saw earlier, I mean, they're only at 35 points in this game, but we saw Camo and Issa with that crazy performance to try to push them up in the leaderboards. They weren't in the top 10 last we looked, but you know, those performances are the one that really push you, not just 1, 2 spaces, but really 5, 10, 20 even in some cases.
That's right, and look up top, FaZe, Vorwin, and Atlantis Tux. They've got themselves the high ground advantage, which is huge. It's going to make a difference. Look at this. Someone trying to challenge, and immediately they say, we need to bail out. This is not the strategy. And Razny gets shredded. Like shooting fish in a barrel, comes right out of the sky, and the elimination is confirmed.
And this is even with the changes to the combat shotgun, the effectiveness at range getting dropped a little bit, but Warren not doing anything, not worried about it at all. But here, Tux is going to be fighting for height. I think Warren, his teammate, needs to start pressuring and stop this. But oh my goodness, what a shot up above the builds. Tux is going to find that elimination just there. Sloopy not going to find a height. It's going to be on Tux and Vorwin. Advantage to them.
Crack a ball right out in front. He drops the player and gets some blue damage numbers. Remember, that's on shield. If it's white damage numbers, they've got no shield. Tux gonna okay. Poseidon. Juve just gets ripped as well. People are just being picked off left and right. More shots.
I mean, at a certain point, Zeke, it's, do I even want to glide up there? But hold on, because somebody does go his own and make a play for height, and that's going to be the signal for Tux and Vorwin to drop down. But as he says that, he's got a partner in crime going down. Nepsi cannot go parallel to Tux. Vorwin still has it, though.
This is huge, too, because he didn't have any builds, and that Elim gave him a ton, so now he can actually go try and meet back up with Vorwin, see how things are going. And I mean, Tux and Vorwin, they're playing out of their minds right now, but look at everyone down below. So you got a few people in Ballers. Gafal was on Lethal P. So many people in that mid-ground tarp that are now engaging Fremont and is doing part of 9 eliminations between them. They just hit top 10, 2 rounds of placement points. What in the world? A 14-point game, a 15-point game.
Yeah, and we just talked about Camo and Issa's performance, and Fremont and Kong right now making their way towards one of those that will put the leaderboards at C6 right now, and maybe making a case for them to go to New York. Fremont and Kong, a little bit of a break right here. They're going to drop those turrets and make sure that they're going to be in the trap rotation. He's going to get it. The trap doesn't go. Oh, yes, he did go in, but not going to manage to do it. Finds Rasco regardless, and now his teammate finds Kubex too as they drop down all together, but it's now only Fremont. And look at this gaggle of players down below. I don't know if they're going to be able to all survive. Right now, Fremont does go down, and it's now Tux and Vorwin against Edwin on his own. Tux goes down and already finds the shots, and that's going to be the victory royale for Tux and Vorwin.
They played that so well, right? Like, they just waited. They knew, and especially 8 eliminations. An 18-point game, this is massive. This also, we saw the other duo was at 62 points. They're now at 66. So you got to think they're contesting for at least top 5. But for them to realize, like, look, everyone's down below. They're all fighting on that low ground tarp. Let's just hang out in the sky. Let's just do what we do best. Wait this out. And, of course, everyone, like fish in a barrel, comes to them. But look at this. Stompy and Shinken here. The little thin pancake. Who belongs in my heart forever. I mean, these guys, I don't know what else I could say about these guys. Like, the fact that they've been on top of the leaderboards weeks in a row, you've got to think this is a favorite going into Fortnite World Cup Finals. You have to.
I think, you know, I'm looking at everybody using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup and all the predictions going in for New York. All the different personalities starting to make their opinions known. Everybody is putting Stompy and Shinken way up there, if not first and second, because they are dominating week after week. I think we are in for a treat in this game because they're getting close and they're in the end game. And this is, honestly, I think this might be the first time we've seen them. And you know what they do in end game, Zeke. It is crazy clinical Fortnite.
They absolutely terrorize the lobby. They just, everything they do is about how can they get an edge up, and then they make sure they're almost like squeezing the life out of you very slowly, right? Suffocating is like the word my mind went to, but it's kind of just like they're bringing the wall.
It is that.
It is that, right?
Because like when they do find an opportunity, they pounce so hard and so fast, and you have no time to react, and they just come from multiple angles, just like this. Stompy from above, Shinken on the bottom, and he already takes down 1 carries exactly. You see Shinken switching to him right now. He can get right behind him, and he finds it, but does now need to make sure that nobody is going to take advantage of the fact that Stompy is down. You can see immediately editing him down all the way because he needs to change position. Everybody knows they just got an elimination in that box. And I think Freddy and Snagged right here are going to see if they can take advantage here. They're definitely getting the loot, so maybe that's enough for them.
I think they're going to get the revive off. And don't forget, Shinken actually has a Chug Jug in inventory, so he's going to be completely okay. He passes it over to Stompy. This is good. Now they have to have the 15 seconds. This is where things could get a little crazy, right? Because we saw the duo up above. If they decide to challenge, Stompy is not in fighting condition right now.
Note there that Stompy went so far away from where that initial fighting was and goes all the way to the farthest spot, not only for the zone, but also for anybody trying to find out where you are. And here comes the launch pad from Stompy. They're going to move ahead. Ooh, a nice little short launch there by accident even, but I'll take it if I'm Stompy.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate your point, you know, these guys are playing at the highest level possible, right? They know what a Chug Jug sounds like. Those sound cues are so very distinct. If you're sitting in a box and you hear that sound down below, you're like, we're going down, let's make some edits, someone's on critical, we're going to take him out, and that's why he moved so far away, to make sure no one knew what was going on. So huge. 23 duos left. Right now they're making a rotation. You've got people out in front, which is good, and they're still staying close by, which is really going to maximize their efficiency here. A lot of people going down in the lobby as well.
I think staying close by is something we're actually not really used to seeing from Stompy and Shinken. We see them trying to take over the lobby and get as many opportunities as possible, but what is that from Stompy? I mean, but one of the things that is very important here to note is their mobility is starting to look scarce. All that we see on Stompy right now is that glider redeploy. They already used their shadow bombs, the launch pads, because of the position they were put in. They couldn't rotate early. So here, staying together, making, oh my goodness, he found
got a rift.
As I say that, the rift to go, the almost most valuable item at this point in the game, because not only are people rotating in the congested zones, but they're not looking up, because that first portion of the movement, everybody is looking to see, where do I need to go next?
And they've got a great bird's eye view, right? They're slowly descending on. You've got Alpha there going to drop down, but look, so now they're going to make the decision. We have to contest.
Oh, they knocked out.
Someone just brought the entire structure down. This is, it depends on what they decide to do. Look at Stompy. He's already trying to contest for the high ground, and Shinken had to stop for just a moment to get that mini off. He's got the shadow bomb, but I don't think he wants to use this right now. He gets cracked from behind. The slurp is still ticking right now. He's just got to get himself into safety. He doesn't have any other utility baller, like a campfire, that would help him right now.
Yeah, but possibly Stompy does, and he's right on top of him now. So great, you know, staying together. They're glued to each other, almost in another elimination. First finding it before moving out. He gets stuck in the cone, but he's got to cover himself first. Does end up going down the zone. So perfect play here from Shinken, and he's moving forward. And they did get in the top 15 just now. Being Shinken, because there's nobody who's qualified at the top of the leaderboard like we're used to seeing, but maybe after this game, things are going to change. But Heavy Snipey coming in. Heavy Snipey.
Snipey, yeah, absolutely. Snipey coming through. Now, don't forget, they're also at 66 points. We've seen 3 duos now with that point value. And look at this. Stompy's got to chain together these eliminations. Shinken is down, but it's okay. Stompy's been in positions like this before. He knows how to clutch these games up. The campfire is rolling, Bala. He's getting back in that rhythm.
Getting back in that rhythm and achieving top 5 right there. That last placement threshold before the Victory Royale. So all he has to do.
Here we go, the key to all doors! Oh my! Okay, I'm gonna lose my freaking voice after today. I'm telling you right now. Stompy and Shinken are putting on a show. The European queues are done as well. It's a free-for-all right now. Also, Pewds goes down a rocket from up above, Bala.
Just barely dodging that. And now he's up to 10, 15 total for this duo. It's a 1v1v1. He's hunting the player down on low ground, but he can't get in the zone. I think that's going to be the end because Katsus is looking right at him. Now, has the Chug Splash. The RPG just barely is going to hit the wall in front of him. Losing the Chug Splash and the campfire, I don't think it's going to be enough because the player up above probably has more in the tank, but he's going to come down. Is it going to happen? No. Massey is going to win that game against this over the heel off there, and that is just an unbelievable sequence of events. We followed Stompy and Shinken from the beginning, and look where they ended up. 15 eliminations, the most out of any placement thresholds besides the Victory Victory Royale. That is a performance for the ages and a reminder of why we need to be scared of them going into New York City.
That ain't no little tiny thin pancake, bro. That's a big old beefy pancake covered in delicious syrup. You like to see it. But of course, guys, there's more Fortnite action. We've got more games hopping in right now. Got Grieving and his duo partner. They've got their eyes set on another duo sitting in a box. I believe they've got double heavy snipes. That's why we'd ping this out. A single shot's gonna come out and wait for it. Okay, so they're gonna break this wall. They want to get a little bit of a better vantage point. That's smart, right? Because they're over that little lip there. Nope, they're not there. But now you've made the heavy sniper known, right? Now this other duo is like, well, they're looking to take shots. You know, the panic launch pad.
I don't necessarily know if that's panic. So they are on the side of zone, making their way in, and you can see now Grieving and his teammate Waldo are going to go in, but he box fights indeed, gets wet right out of there, no chance to react at all. And that is something that you can catch people by surprise is they're trying to make that rotation, right? They're trying to figure out what their plan is to go forward. And because of that, they're all looking around. They're not paying attention to the fact that they're not covered. They're not paying attention and listening to the fact that there's a heavy sniper coming in or just a pickaxe even from one of the most obvious locations right above you.
And I mean, you saw them separate for a moment, him and his dual partner, and now they just use that rift to reposition and get to go close back together. Got Marcote here and Squalls K. Marcote here has got 6 eliminations. Again, this is almost unusual, Bala, because I feel like, you know, semifinals are typically the day where you find a ton of players sitting on mountains of eliminations, right? Borderline double digits at times. But on finals day, very rarely you see that happen. You see eliminations be picked up toward the end, right? When you break that placement barrier and then you're like, I'm just going to catch people making late rotations. But that's not been the case today. You can tell players they're ready. They are so hungry. They want those tickets.
You can almost feel the pressure that they're feeling, they're playing with. Right? The high eliminations, they have to go for it because it's all or nothing right now in this moment. There's only 4 spots left up for grabs in EU. That isn't much out of all the players who are playing and out of the top 1,500 that made it from semifinals to today.
That's right. And remember, we recently saw the highest point value we've seen is 66. So we know that's like, we'll say top 10 at best right now. But look at everyone in the sky all hanging out. May have been a rift to go, a community launch pad, a potential guy. Yeah, the vents are right there over by the hot spots. Right now, Alpha and Mark, they're just chilling, trying to find more eliminations. Any at all would be helpful. They find one.
That stink bomb coming to great effect as players start to make all their rotations, and it was a perfect opportunity to use it because, as we saw, there were so many players in the sky, and those players in the sky are all because of everybody else looking right up at them. So a good opportunity for a lot of people to find eliminations there, but I'm going to opt to rift as they start to get pressured and as the 7th zone starts to move.
This is going to be a little bit weird, right? Because remember, we're fighting in that biome that's like forest, the big tall trees. Depending on where we go, they could potentially land on the stream Sky, the stream Vato there in the bottom right corner for just a moment. They're in this game, and remember, they are looking to qualify. Wolfies and
on the leaderboards, it was Wolfies and Rojo who were in the top spot, but they did get overtaken by Vato and Sky, so this might actually come to a head. Those 2 teams facing off in this game. Here's Wolfies getting in that box. He's going to take out Jachu from behind, but his teammate coming through with the trap, not going to be enough because Wolfies, the quick edit's going to go back on top of him and does find the elimination. Precious goes down. Even using the turret there, I'm wondering if that was a panic or an accident. But it's going to work out perfectly because if anybody was playing down below, he actually doesn't have to spend a cone there. It's not going to go down. It gives you extra HP on that floor.
And look, dude, they're still in this. Sky and Vato, they're in that middle ground tower. Actually going toe-to-toe with Wolfies and Rojo right now. This is the duo that they're fighting. So look, they actually have 70 points. Now the new total we have seen, so it must be another 2 points coming in. They've hit top 10. The next threshold they're looking at is top 5. Bala, it's coming down to the wire.
And you can see how careful and calm they are playing. They're making sure that they spend the time to use their heals, use their items, because use them, you're going to lose them, and finding one that's Grieving who goes down, and they're still pushing for that top 5. They're still pushing towards that victory royale and looking really good while doing it.
I thought that was Wolfies and Rojo. I thought with my heart of hearts, I believed it. And look at this. Watch the top left. Rojo finds another elimination, so you know he's alive and kicking. They've hit top 5. 75 points over on the Lestream duo. The French-speaking community's got to be losing their minds. Up above, you got Alphen as well. The question is, where is Wolfies? Where is Rojo? Where are they in relation to each other? This duo in front of them very well could be them. Or it could be Alphen and Mark. It depends. I want to see this hide wide, man. I almost want to see a 3-box. I got to know with my heart.
Well, the trap in there is definitely going to de-incentivize Skyt and Vato to go in, and there we can see Mark and Alphen up top. Wolfies and Rojo down below. They take out takeoffs. And now it's all time to go right down. They know exactly the situation, but Skyt gets taken out right away by Wolfies, and they're still fighting. Vato goes out. Rojo and Wolfies take the win there, and they're still going. There's only 2 players remaining. It's a 1 versus 1 right now. Low Beto and Smoke Mark and Alphen are going to come up in the top and clean up house.
That was insane. They had 77 points. That extra 3 points would have helped get them to that 80 threshold and just help build lead. But this is absolutely insane. I think ball for now. We got to send it studio. We got to meet up with Pookie. We got to see how things are going. So Pookie, let's send it your way.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I am here in the studio. Those games are absolutely wild. EU is, like always, not disappointing, that is for sure. But I am joined with my good friend Sundown. He has got some clips for us. I know you got a little bit of Stompy. Can't wait to see that. Show us what you got.
Yeah, let's actually jump in right here with some of the duos who have been popping off so much today in the last block. First off, we had the VAR duo of Refstar and Hackscore being able to put a ton of work on the mid-ground. So first, you can just see catching the players who are trying to rotate through, putting the legendary infantry rifle to work, finding Comey there, but watch what happens on the rest of the mid-ground target. That's one thing we talk, being ready to fight at all times. Booth, right or 0 pin save you as refs immediately edits another end up on Idra kill. That wasn't his knock, but the materials that he ends up getting from that's huge. But Hackscore is then covering the other side, is able to get the other part of the Vikings duo. They're going to work. Benji Fishy, one of the best players in the world, going down on the backside, brilliantly done, and Hackscore picking up another one on the Impact Fixie, fragging his way into the top, but wasn't able to close it out. Tux now, on the other hand, was a one-man wrecking crew here. Just watch him going to work on the backside of the storm and putting the combat shotgun to work. I mean, for me, you can tell he's got adjustments there with how Tux is just lasering people. And then that shot was so good, catching Nipsey in shadow form. He up down around the side, and he wasn't done yet. Again, we've talked about the power position that is the high ground. When you're able to work from top down, close the bottom of the store, and Tux and Vorin just close out here, making his face through the floor to get win. Now we've seen trying to qualify. Here's an already qualified and are the best. On the target, up to 13 as a duo. Heavy snipes his way in, doesn't slow down, and continues pushing the pace. Picks it up there, but unfortunately wasn't able to close out for the victory route. Stompy putting on a clinic, showing why he's able to contest for the very top. Now, as we talked about, the queues are closed, but we're not done yet. We want to see those final matches and what's left, Books.
For sure. Now, interestingly enough, I had the opportunity to speak with Stompy the other day. You know, we exchanged a little bit of back and forth about how he's feeling for World Cup. Him and Shinken are practicing 12 hours a day. They are going into this hard, and from what we've seen, it certainly shows. But you know what? I can't wait to get into more games. Zeke and Bala, let's hear from you.
Pookie just flexing all over us right now, talking about how she's talking with Shinken and Stompy. That's cool. I also talk to players. No, it's not. Pookie.
Don't cry on us now, but
it's already cried 6 times. That's a 6. All right, Fortnite fam, we are back.
And we're tuning in with Pyro and Destiny's Jesus right here. Destiny's Jesus is definitely somebody that's been on a lot of people's radar because, you know, we all learn from this guy. Everybody's watching his videos because every single day it feels like he's coming out with a new technique on how to box fight or how to build fight. His partner Pyro right now, they're slightly split. We'll see if they're going to be able to find any picks on the way in. Do find Wolfie. It's not the Wolfies that we saw from the other game. So just to keep that in mind right here.
Different Wolfies. So let's reiterate. We did not look at standings, but we know like 77 points is the highest we've seen at this point, right? So for Pyro and Destiny's Jesus, especially with maybe the last few games, they've got to make some really big things happening. Right now, Pyro is saying, don't even worry, fam. We've got you. We're going to pick up eliminations left and right. They've also hit the first round of placement points. This is going to be super, super beneficial for them.
Yeah, and when I said they were split, I didn't actually realize that they're not even split at all. They just kind of have two different angles here that they're approaching, finding picks right here. Destiny's Jesus looking down that south side and Pyro looking over towards the east. And finding those eliminations, not only have those, he's finding, getting the siphon, all that, they're getting themselves healthy, but he has 2 rip-to-goes as well in the inventory as Carnage to go for snipe. Oh, that is why you kind of need to make sure that you're not going into these situations, these end games, with low white HP, with low health, because if you don't have any bandages or anything like that, you're not going to be able to recover that without siphon, right? And if somebody is carrying, by chance, some stink bombs, and they realize, hey, I can go ahead and throw this on this box and get 2 people ticking down at the same time, that's value from that stink bomb, and also finding elimination because he was low, too low to even survive even a tick from it.
And I mean, they made it very known that what they were trying to do, right? The first heavy snipe came in, and I did not expect that. Another stinker here, and this is what I'm talking about, right? You already see the players trying to get away from the stink bomb there, but in a similar fashion, you got to be ready. You got to think, what could they have at their disposal? They're trying to pressure us right now, especially this position. We've got to be ready for a stink to reposition. Pretty good spot right now on this far side of the circle.
Heavy snipe comes in, the tree's in the way though, and I don't think there's a player directly in this box.
Hiding behind.
Yeah. Exactly. When the sound is there, you kind of hear the sound cues, you know that there's something coming, but regardless. Oh!
There's the player!
He comes in from the side. They both edit into the same box from different walls, and that's going to be the end of probably both of those duos, unfortunately, because they're fighting right on the edge of zone and with walls ahead of them as well. They're not going to be able to make their way out that easily, and a lot of players are going to realize exactly what's going on. But look how high Vapors and Yuto are right now, and we're already down to 12 teams in this game, Zeke.
I mean, they've got the builds, they've got a flint knock, they've got a chug splash, just as if they need to get crazy. They dropped out in the box the first shot.
Destiny's Jesus and Pyro, who we saw in with before, and he still has that GL that he's been using the grenade launcher from range, finding himself one before, and actually going to find another rift to go. Not going to be that useful right now, but that GL is going to be because they are having a free roam range right here up on top. They can throw this GL down in so many different cracks. And did he get it in that wall? Yes, but it's not going to find any damage. Actually, somebody fighting for height right now, but with those build fight tactics that he's been working on, he's going to go ahead and crank right back up and not let him take it. But in this case, does end up taking it. The chug splash coming in. Ooh, a rift play. This is kind of an all or nothing. They might land on Alpha and Blaster right here. No, they're going to go out and scoop back out of the zone, but no, Pyro ran, and Destiny's Jesus didn't. So a little bit of miscommunication right here. Is Destiny's Jesus going to be able to maybe knock this out? Because I know Pyro has something. He does find Blaster, so is he going to actually take this team on head-to-head right now and possibly put themselves in Destiny's Jesus, making his way right back up, and this fight is for all the marbles. Destiny's Jesus took the high ground.
This is so huge. All he had to do was buy the time for the siphon to come through, and that's exactly what he did. Look, Alpha dropped all the way down. He was like, look, you know what? That entire fight is lost. And now Destiny's Jesus Imperial can rejoin. Down below, Pablo is going toe-to-toe with Alpha. And look at this, Suicide Mark as well. He gets traded out. And now Pablo is in a 1v2.
I think actually Destiny Jesus just knocked a few GLs down there, but he falls to his elimination right there. He gets knocked, and right now Piro's making the slow climb down. It's now a 1v1 as Alpha goes down, but Piro takes out Vapor, and the Victory Royale puts them at 63 points to win that game.
Man, so don't forget, we've seen quite a bit of points. They very well could be contesting for top 5 right now.